question that's asked throughout this unit is, where do we look for additional answers? Well, we look for additional answers through religion. Now, religion is so vital and important in our modern day society, as we use religion to, judge and make moral decisions. And many use faith as well as memory in order to justify these answers in religion. Now, faith is very, important, as it doesn't necessarily mean a strong belief in the doctrines of religion, but it also can mean having faith in yourself or in others and completing some sort of task. But faith is based on spiritual conviction rather than proof, and that's kind of controversial, as it kind of ties in intuition, as this is more of a gut feeling that having faith in something is that you're putting all your efforts into it, and no matter if it's wrong or incorrect, you still have this sort of faith. And that brings a very controversial question as to how reliable is religion as a source of knowledge if people who have faith in these religions can be proven wrong. Well, with so many different religions or so many different beliefs, there are around 19 major religious groups. Out of these 19 major religious groups, there's 270 smaller religions. And Christianity alone has 34,000 separate groups. Now, it's very, very cool and all, but with a lot of different religions, there's conflicting ideas. For example, in Judaism doesn't necessarily does not regard violence and war to promote justice as always wrong, as it's sometimes morally acceptable to kill people, but only in war. Whereas in Buddhism, their whole religion is centralized around non-violence, and they avoid killing any sort of human being or any living thing. Well, different religions may agree on certain things sometimes, but for different reasons and have different consequences. For example, in terms of Mormonism and Islam on homosexuality, Mormonisms are a little bit more acceptant of them, and they're not seen as inherently sinful. Yet once one engages in any sort of homosexual activity or same-sex marriage, all that goes against God's eternal plan, and at that point they can be despised. Whereas in Islam, all major Islamic schools disapprove of homosexuality, and they view it as unnatural temptation and as a transgression of the natural role and aim of sexual attraction. Yet, what I found out is that they're a little bit more acceptant of lesbians, which is very interesting. I did not know that before. But that's a little fun fact. But now this raises a question. Why do we continue to use religion as a source of information if there's no one right answer, if different religions have different consequences? Well, even though many know it may not be accurate information, people still believe it because at one point it was all they knew. And this also brings up a valid point that religion was taught and shown to many of us at a young age. Language, by priests, religious figures, or even our parents. And that's very interesting, is that at one point we didn't know anything else, and this whole new religion, or this religion, showed us something new in the world and gave us reasoning as to why things are, and that's why we remember, and that's why we believe in it, because that's all we knew at one point. And the reason why we remember it now is because of memory. Now, memory is the faculty by which the mind stores and remembers information. Memory shape who we are and our personal and shared identity. Now, how memory works is that shared knowledge is collected and spread through language and stored through memory. Now, language is very important, as well as shared knowledge, because what exactly is shared knowledge? Well, shared knowledge is knowledge that is widely accepted by the majority, but as opposed to personal knowledge, which knowledge is driven by opinion. Now, this kind of raises a very controversial point. Is religion shared knowledge or personal knowledge? Well, yes, in a sense that many people believe in religion. For example, Christianity is one of the most followed religions, and they all have a sort of generalized idea, so that knowledge is shared. But no, because science disproves a lot of what religion believes. And so that becomes a point where it's well, religion can be shared or personal depending on, what motivates or moves our society. And that raises such a question, important question. If religion isn't necessarily right, why do people still continue to spread this shared knowledge? Well, that's where the ethical part comes in. Continuing to spread this religion is very, ethical. But what is ethics? Well, ethics is the study of moral reasoning. It doesn't necessarily, study how human beings act, but how they should act. But why should, what's so ethical about religion? Well, like we said before, everything. There's so many conflicting ideas with religion in terms of politics and science and religion and art and history. They all conflict with one another, and many use religion as a source of, putting down one or putting down someone's idea, and using religion as a way of, promoting oneself. In terms of politics with politicians, and science with new beliefs that, contradict religion with one another, history in terms of crusades and what is, correct or not, art in terms of inspiring, new arts and culture. And this really causes problems and difficulties in our society. Now in conclusion, many seek to religion for answers, no matter how conflicting, ethically incorrect, or just inaccurate it is due to language, memory, and faith. Here's my bibliography. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.